and welcome to Weekly World Climate Change News. This is Han Zhang. According to a report from the University of Melbourne, countries' climate pledges rely on unrealistic and extensive amounts of land for carbon removal projects like tree planting schemes. Many governmental and industry net zero climate plans assume that tree planting schemes can balance out an equivalent of new emissions from fossil fuels, industrial agriculture, and deforestation. However, they largely ignore the rights of land-based communities. Governments and business are encouraged to prioritize protecting existing primate forests by recognizing and enforcing the rights of indigenous peoples and local communities. Researchers have used quantum computing technology and artificial intelligence to design a transparent window coating that could help lower the temperature inside buildings without using energy. It has been estimated that energy for cooling accounts for about 50% of global energy consumption. With abnormally hot weather all over the world, this percentage is likely to increase. The new window coating would reduce cooling energy consumption by about 31% compared to conventional windows. It can also be used on windows of cars and trucks. Such emissions are a step towards replacing air conditioners, which consume large amounts of electricity. The UN Refugee Agency, UNHCR, reported that over 3.4 million people in the West and Central Africa need help following one of the worst floods in decades to hit the region. Nigeria was hard hit with hundreds of fatalities. More than 1.3 million people displaced, and some 2.8 million people who have been negatively impacted. Numerous farmlands and roads throughout the country have been completely submerged. There is a call for much-needed support and financing to build defenses, to adapt, and to minimize the harmful consequences. This strong appeal is part of the UNHCR attempt to respond to this current crisis in the face of dangerous and chronic underfunding. This year's COP27 is being held in Egypt and will begin on Sunday, November 6. It will deal with the Climate Action Plan, which aims to reduce global greenhouse gas emissions. Given the European Union's conflict and the market's inflation, solutions must be provided to overcome the impediments and prevent these concerns from impeding progress toward climate targets. So far, just 24 of the 200 nations attending the COP27 have submitted revised or new emission cutting plans. Despite the fact that all governments attending last year's meeting agreed to do so. Climate change increases the risk of thermal stress for plants and animals. A new study published in Science Advance shows that terrestrial protected areas not only provided habitat, but also act as a thermal buffer against climate change, thus providing biodiversity with climate change refuge. Researchers believe that biodiversity responses to climate change are largely determined by microclimate, and protected areas provided shaded habitats that can moderate biotic responses to microclimate warming. As a result, this study shows that the nature protection plays a crucial role in stabilizing local climates. Protected forests effectively slow the rate of warming, with a warming rate in protected boreal forests up to 20% lower than in the surroundings. G20 countries have provided nearly $700 billion in subsidies for coal, oil, gas, and fossil fuel industries in 2021. According to Climate Policy Factbook, the significant sum fueled investments in emission-intensive equipment and infrastructures. It distorted fuel prices and promoted inefficient fossil fuel consumptions and production. The report noted, fossil support spending increased by 16%, according to the estimates. This surge was not just because of the economic recovery and increased energy consumption, but was sparked by the increase in support for fossil fuel companies and utilities. Scientists have identified more than 50 super-emitters of heat-trapping methane gas in Central Asia, the West Asia, and the southwestern United States. According to a release by NASA, most of these sites have ties with agriculture and fossil fuel industries. The exciting new development will help researchers better pinpoint methane leaks and provide insight on how they can be addressed quickly. NASA Administrator Bill Nelson said, NASA Earth Surface Mineral Dust Source Investigation Instrument, often known as amidst, is the instrument which assisted the scientists shape the conclusion. The United Nations Environment Programme published the 2022 Emissions Gap Report, The Closing Window. Climate crisis calls for rapid transformation of societies. The report indicated that the international community is far off track from fulfilling the Paris Agreement goal of limiting global warming to below 2 degrees Celsius. The national pledges taken by countries since last year only make a negligible difference to predicted 2030 emissions. The report calls for urgent system-wide transformation and outlines the measure needed to bring substantive changes in electricity supply, industry, transport, buildings, and food system.